Everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Let's Talk About the Female. Thank you for joining me again today. My name is Yemisi, and if you're new, welcome. Yay! Thank you for dropping by. This is the time to subscribe. Please subscribe so that you don't miss any of the videos that I put up. Thank you again for joining me. In case you didn't know, this is a channel where we talk about female issues, any issues that affects women. This is where we talk about it. Love, family, marriage, relationships, dating, career, work, business, whatever it is that women talk about, we talk about it here, and it goes down. So please make sure you subscribe before you leave. So again, thank you for joining me. Today we're going to talk about an issue that has been on my mind for just like a while. I mean, it has been something that has recorded in my life a lot, because I joke about it a lot, and it simply is being a full-time housewife. So for those that know me, for those that have been here before or that visit my blog, that's let's talk about the female.blogspot.com. By the way, that's somewhere you should also visit. For those that know me, you know that I work. I've been working maybe since I was 20 years old, or maybe since I was 19 or something like that. I left school quite early, so I've been working for a while, and I've been married for the past 2 years. And okay, it's not 2 years yet, a year and a half, yes. And I still work. Just because I work. That's just all there is to it. But I do know that every once in a while I'm at work, it crosses my mind. I just say to myself, what if I was a full-time housewife? Like, I could just be at home right now, sipping coffee, especially if it's raining. I could just be at home right now, just sipping some coffee, or just watching TV and, catching up on all the daytime shows, on all the ratchet TV shows, on Love and Hip Hop, watching the Kardashians, scrolling Instagram and just knowing everything that's happening. So why am I here? Those thoughts cross my mind, especially when I'm frustrated at work, when I think, oh my God, my boss is not being fair. I could just be at home right now, reporting to nobody but myself, enjoying my life. Why am I not a full-time housewife? But then again, it occurs to me that if I stayed at home for maybe a month or two, I'll get tired. But that's just me, okay? And I realized that over the years, I have shamed people for being full-time housewives, right? And it is something that is very common. A lot of us shame full-time housewives. We have this thing in our mind that, oh, she's doing it because she's lazy, or she's doing it because she just doesn't want to work, or she's not driven enough, or she's okay with a man providing for her, or she's just too traditional, she does not want to work, she doesn't have anything she hopes for, in terms of a career. She doesn't have a career, she doesn't think. Basically, we look down on these women. Many of us are guilty of this, and I used to be very guilty of that. I think it's because many of us just have this idea in our head, this unfounded idea in our head, that being a full-time housewife is very easy. But obviously that's not true, and there are many reasons. First, I don't have a child. I hope and pray to have a child one of these days. But I know that raising children is not a job for the faint-hearted. Nobody raises children without being ready for the enormous task that it is in and of itself, right? And I know this from just being an auntie, just being an assistant mom every once in a while. Think about it. Why is some people's work being a nanny? Just raising children is their entire job. Why is that? It has to be because that is a full-time job on its own. And these are women who have said to themselves, I'm taking out my life to be a woman who is just raising children. I think that deserves some sort of respect on his own. And I think it's a society thing, it's a thing of, the world that we're in today, where everybody is now, and I mean this respectfully, everybody looks down on housework. Yes, I think that's the word. We look down on housework. We think that because we're going out of the house to work, the woman who is staying in the house to work is not doing enough. She's somehow beneath us just because our own work is outside of the house. As far as I'm concerned, that is the wrongest way to think, right? And we're always thinking about, and especially because I feel like men are responsible for a huge part of this. And let me explain. So if for any reason a woman was prospering at her job, okay, I think the word prosper is wrong. A woman was doing better at her job, maybe she's rising higher at her career, at her job, she's getting more promoted, or maybe she's earning more than her husband, right? There is something there's this thing that makes the men, for some reason, never ever want to do the housework, right? And I think that contributes to why we look down on housework, because we think this is men, this is women, and so whatever the man does must be higher than what the woman does. And so because many of us are aspiring to be that higher person, to do something for ourselves, which is not in and of itself a bad thing, we now downplay housework, employ someone who we think is lower than us to do the housework, and then look down on the women who have said, okay, I'll probably not employ someone, or maybe I will employ someone to just help me and still continue to do the housework. I'm quiet because I'm trying to think if that makes any sense. Hopefully I've not confused myself in what I've just said. But yeah, I think that, these women make these choices to look after children, to ensure that the home is in order, to ensure that they are there when their husband and their children need them, to go out of their way to be there for their children and their husband, and all the work. I feel like if we stopped looking down on full-time housewifeship, there would be a lot more respect placed on women and on that part of being in a family, right? So one person chooses to provide and the other person chooses to go out to be in the house taking care of the home front. I don't think that makes her any less than the man who goes out to provide. She has just chosen one part of the work to do. If that makes sense. Of course it does. Right? If somebody has made the choice, or if for any reason you have sat your husband down, or the two of you have sat each other down and have said, we need somebody to take the back seat, to be at home taking care of the home front, I don't know that should be a problem. I don't know that should make her any less than the woman who goes out there to work, right? So I feel like being a full-time housewife is not such a bad thing, in my opinion, right? What makes it a bad thing is when you're pressured into becoming a full-time housewife. So there are people who are guilted into becoming a full-time housewife. For example, maybe for some reason your husband feels like the children need some attention and all the works, and then he starts making you feel like a bad wife for probably earning more, or for even earning at all, or making you feel like less of a woman because you're not at home or something. Now that's a problem. But if you have made that choice, or if for any reason you choose to make that sacrifice to be at home, to take care of the home front, to be, you know, a mom that's always there, that stays at home, I don't know that there's anything wrong with that. Is that a choice that I will make? I don't know. I think not. Is it a bad thing? Does it make it a bad thing? No, definitely not. If a woman chooses to be a full-time housewife, I think that, you know, that's just her choice. And, you know, again, the idea of feminism and, you know, being, how will I say it, equality and everything, I think we're misunderstanding, you know, some of the concepts. I feel like, I think feminism should be something that pushes a woman to make her own choices and be happy with whatever choice she makes, and not something that puts pressure on her to be what she does not want to be. So yeah, basically, being a full-time housewife does not mean you're a lazy woman, or, you know, you should take pride in doing the thing that you want to do and being happy about it, being a happy mother, being a happy wife, and just being successful at it. Just as the next woman is successful at her career, at the job she chooses to do outside, you are successful at being a mother and a wife. You're producing children, that the kind of children that you want to produce, you have the kind of husband that you want to have, and you're good. Yeah, I guess the rant is over. Thank you for joining me again. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll leave a lot of links down below for, you know, my older videos, and also my email address, just in case you want to say a thing or two about my videos, or you want to request for a certain type of video, or, you know, whatever it is you want to do, you can send me an email. You should also leave a comment, share, do whatever that works. Thank you again for joining me. Mwah. Bye.